everybody, and welcome back to The Perspective. I know y'all missed us last week, and we miss you guys too. But as always, I'm Cassandra.
And I'm Joseph, and welcome back to The Perspective.
Alright, so I know you saw the blogs blowing up, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, about Will and Jada.
I did.
So apparently she was saying that they have been separated since 2016. They just didn't want the world to know. But I could have sworn on her Red Table Talk she maybe hinted towards something like that. I think that was that entanglement episode when they was talking about that. So it's like, okay, first of all, it's their business. They didn't have to tell us that they were, separated since 2016. But how do you feel about that, knowing that they've been out in the open portraying, well, technically, yes, they're married, but for me, once I'm separated, I have the intent to get a divorce.
Right.
Or we're going to get back together. Right?
Well, she said that she would never want a divorce. They would be separated, but it wouldn't be a divorce. But my thing is, when we look back at it, then why did she call it an entanglement? It wouldn't have been an entanglement.
Yeah.
Why did they? You know what I'm saying? If y'all weren't together, that was the time then when that came out. Well, we're not together, so it's okay for her to mess with this man.
Not technically.
It's not okay?
Technically, they're still married. Unless they had an understanding that it's okay for us to see other people.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they would have that understanding. I'm sure. But, so it wouldn't be okay?
If they didn't have an understanding that they could see other people. But if they did, then, like you said, why bring that out like Jada was doing something wrong and embarrassing Will,
Right. And now, why today did she decide to tell? Isn't it in her book?
It's in her book.
Okay.
And I think they were interviewing her about the book, and that's when she said what she said.
Okay. But yeah, I think more so I think they wanted to uphold an image. To me, that's what I think they try to do. They wanted to be represented in a certain type of way.
Right.
So they wanted to be that couple that lasts forever.
Right.
And everybody, you're human. Things happen.
Yeah.
You grow apart. They maybe grew apart. And then I think it's hard for two celebrities. Well, I think it's hard, period, for a celebrity to be in a relationship because it's all the temptations, and then the time that you're going to be spending apart. So I'm wondering if all of that played a factor into it.
It probably did, but you can't really look at, okay, so yes, they're celebrities, but if they got married, then I guess it was, I guess it was probably hard for them to separate the two. Like, and we're not just talking about the man just being a celebrity and the woman not. We're talking about two huge celebrities who had careers of their own before they even got together. So, and you put those two powerhouses together, and I guess they figured people wanted to see them win because that was like a relationship goal, or a couple goal, like Will and Jada.
Right.
Even I think Alicia Keys mentioned it in one of her songs about being a Will and Jada. And a lot of people say, I'm gonna be like Will and Jada, and we gotta stop doing that because you don't know what the people going through behind closed doors.
You see what happened for 16 years.
Yeah.
For 16 years we thinking they're fine. In 16 years they've been in separate houses, living different lives. Only come together when it's an event. So, I guess that's the hard part about us. People in general, we don't realize that celebrities are human, and they're going to make mistakes. They're going to fall short. That's life. But are we going to hate them or dislike them? And maybe that's what they think. Like I said back in the beginning, I think that they felt as though their representation wouldn't be that powerhouse anymore. And you never know how your story, whatever you going through, might help another couple. Just look at some of the celebrities, but not celebrities that are celebrities, the housewives, that are gotten on these shows, and the next thing we know, they're divorced. You know, you saw Mia. You know,
yeah,
she's going through that now. It's just, you gotta be strong to put all that out there.
Yes, and speaking of celebrities and having the divorce, you know, separation, divorce in front of the cameras. You know, Quad from Married to Medicine, you know, she went through, you know, her marital difficulties on camera, got a divorce on camera, and now for the new season she has to face her ex-husband and his new wife.
I think that's too much. You know, if I were being in her shoes, that's a lot. You now bringing these people to my doorstep,
right?
Like, and then, you know, I don't know if you saw, but she did a live with Dr.
I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, so I didn't see the whole thing, but I saw that clip, and she said that they didn't even have the decency to have a conversation with her, knowing that she was a pillar in starting that franchise or starting that company. So I'm just like, that's what we do.
She claimed that the girls didn't know, but we clearly saw before we even knew the season was coming out next month that they were filming with Dr. G and his new wife. Well, it was his fiance before they filmed the wedding.
Right.
All of them went to the wedding.
Right.
You knew the cameras were there.
Right.
So.
But I guess she's saying that's not their place to tell her. And then my question would be, you know, if I was on this show, who set who up to bring them on the show?
I think it was Simone, Dr. Simone, because Cecil and Curtis were still friends with Dr. G. According to this blog I read earlier, even after filming Rap that season when they got a divorce, Cecil and Curtis were still friends with Dr. G, and rightfully so. You can't just because they broke up don't mean you have to stop being their friend.
Right.
But so, you know, when your wife is friends with the husband, if they have, you know, wife, significant other, whatever, you're going to befriend that person's significant other, and I think that's what happened. And I mean, Quad can be upset about it because those were her friends first, and she was on the show first before Dr. G's new wife. But and I'm wondering, now I see Quad as a strong woman, but I'm just wondering mentally, how does that make her feel? You know?
Right. Right. How would it make you feel?
I would feel like how she does, you know, disrespected. But mentally, if I wasn't a strong woman, I would be like, wow, like I have to sit here and look at, you know, my ex-husband and his new wife do the things that I've probably been begging him to do.
Right. But then, see, I'm the type of person that I'm not going to allow. See, I would have, you know, got found out about this, blah, 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 and I would have been like, well, I'm not going to allow these people to come and take my spot. That's how I'm going to look at it. Like, I'm going to show up and show out. Because I'm not going to let them take my spot.
Right.
So I'm hoping that's what she does this season. You know, Quad is Quad. She's good for TV. So I'm just hoping this new wife is good. I see she's supposed to have a run-in with Dr. Heavenly, which should be fun. That should be fun.
Yeah. I'm excited. So today, want to dig into something. Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. It could be deep, could, you know, not be. But I want to dig into insecurities. We talked about self-care, and that kind of goes somewhere together. Because if you're working on self-care, then you're building self-esteem. So, but I do know that deep down we have some insecurities. You know, like, I'm gonna go ahead and just put this aside. I'm wearing the sweater because I have an insecurity about, you know, my midsection.
Okay.
That is an insecurity. It has been an insecurity for a long time. I don't like showing it. I will changed my clothes several times, not because I don't like the way the outfit looked, but I don't like the way my belly looked inside, the outfit, inside the shirt or the dress or whatever the case may be. And I see people all the time, and I'm like, wow, they're just living out loud and all their, fluffiness.
Some of them have the shirts way up here, stomach just showing.
Yeah, I can't do that. I'm very insecure about my middle section, like very. I will not show it at all. I mean, I'll show it to show somebody, but not too much.
Okay.
Do you have any?
No.
We can't talk about it, and you not saying if you have one, you have to talk about it.
Yeah. I have a color insecurity.
What you mean?
Like I wish I was lighter.
Why?
I'm not a fan of my skin. I wish I was light skinned. That's an insecurity I always
So you want to be yellow like my brother?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be that bright?
Mm-hmm. Maybe not that bright, but maybe not that bright, but brighter. I just don't. I don't like being dark skinned. I don't know.
What is that?
I just thank you. I don't know. I just feel as though, FYI, y'all, I am under the weather, so I'm hoping we can make it through. So someone just brought me some Mucinex, so to make me feel better. But I don't know. It's just as a child growing up, I just always didn't like being dark.
Was it because were you picked on?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I was not picked on like. Not enough to make me say I hate the color. I it's my insecurity. It's just how I felt. I felt like me being dark skinned, I wasn't attractive. That's how I felt, and I do feel like that sometimes now. So I think
you're very attractive.
Yeah, I think it's an ongoing situation that I'm dealing with, and I think that's what hold me back from a lot of things. But yeah, that's my biggest insecurity.
So I feel that when we have these insecurities, we should find something to, I guess, combat that. Like for me, okay, so I don't like, my middle section. Okay, so either one or two things. I'm going to have to work out or just live with it, And I don't want to live with it, so I guess I have to work out.
Right. Well, I can't change my skin color. Can I bleach myself? I can bleach myself.
Don't bleach yourself.
Do people really do that?
I think so, but don't bleach yourself.
I heard that somebody in our family did that one time before, but I don't know if that's true, but I heard.
You have to tell me after this one.
So, okay. So see, yeah, that's two things I don't want to happen. I don't want to the skin complexion and then me losing my hair. That would be an insecurity. Like me not having my hair is insecurity. Like I don't want to have to spray nothing on. I don't want to have to glue nothing, braid nothing extra in.
So you don't want to lose your hair, even though your father has no hair. I'm hoping he just did that by choice. I'm about to call him an accident. I don't know, cause before my dad passed away, like he had a middle part in his head where he was loose. I'm pretty sure eventually he was gonna go bald.
Because somebody else in your family also had that too, right?
But so they're not trying to show it.
So,
why are you being so shady?
Okay.
And I used to have an insecurity about my hair, which is one of the reasons why I grew it.
I wonder that's why a lot of people grow like a lot of girls. Is that why they grow their hair and dread it up?
I don't know if that's their reason, but that was my reason.
Okay.
Because as a child, I didn't have like long hair, but it was longer than most. But as a child, I used to get picked on about my hair. They used to call me bald head. And back then, that's when they had the little ponytails and it really wasn't a ponytail. I had an actual ponytail. I could actually shake my little ponytail and it moved. And it would be the girls who had shorter hair that would pick on me. And I never understood, why are you picking on me and your hair is shorter than mine? But I guess they figured that it seemed as though I already had low self-esteem, so it was easier to, pick on me about that. And so as I grew older, it's like, oh my gosh, I got to have, either short hair, like actual shortcut, or I'm gonna have to have long hair. And that's how I was, as a teenager. Made sure my hair was at a certain length to where, okay, if my hair is, this length, then I'm not gonna get picked on. And then, when I was a teenager, that's when, wraps was starting to come out. People were getting wrapped, so I would, get my hair wrapped and stuff like that. And then I went natural. Right after I graduated high school. And so my whole thing was, I did not want that short fro, because I went natural before a whole lot of people started doing it. So just to have that short fro, I didn't want people saying that she's sick, like is she losing her hair? Because that's where people go to. They always think just because you got a short fro that you sick or something. And I didn't want to go through that. I just wore braids until it was a nice fro. And then I did lock my hair up. And then I took my locks out when I was pregnant with Jalen. And then I had a nice fro then. And I just wore the nice fro until I decided to lock my hair up again. Now it's, long. And I'm like, But even though I'm older, I don't have that insecurity anymore. That's not why I locked my hair back up. I just didn't feel like dealing with the fro no more. But a lot of, I do believe a lot of people may grow their hair, lock it up because it grows faster. So they'll have that long hair. They're not insecure about their hair anymore.
I believe that's the truth. That why people dread their hair. Two reasons. I think either they don't want to deal with getting their hair done, or three reasons. Could be damage or issues with it, or just the insecurity. And I do think that sometimes hair make people look a different way. And that's how I feel about myself. But yeah, so. Do you think insecurities are something we are born with, or something we hear from others?
That's a good question. I don't think nobody is born with insecurities. I think it's all in, let me say this. Maybe not born into insecurities, but
it's brought up inside.
Right. Their parents making them, dress a certain way because of this. Like, let's just say, I have a daughter. So let's just say, I'm gonna say, okay, Gabby, I want you to wear this so it doesn't show a certain area of your body, right? And so all in her mind, she's going to think, okay, I have to wear, as she's getting older and, can pick out her own clothes and try on her own clothes. She says, no, I have to wear this type of dress, or, so it won't show this or that. And as she grows older, that becomes an insecurity. Now, she doesn't want to show that part of her body, just like me and my belly, And I didn't grow into that. I was just never just this big. This is the biggest I've been in my entire life. So we can definitely, grow up into insecurities just by the way our parents teach us.
Right. And so, and the other part was, do you feel as though it's something you hear from others that kind of shift your mindset?
Yes. Yeah. Especially if you're not strong enough to receive what they're saying, because anybody can tell you anything, but you don't have to receive it. But if you're not strong enough to hear what they're saying, and you can really feel like, well, maybe I am that way.
Right.
And insecurities are not just about looks. It's all about, sometimes it's about the way you act. The way you could be living out loud And then somebody, says, well, you shouldn't act that way. So now you're walking around feeling like you got to be in a shell or in a box because somebody has dumbed you down to what you're not.
Right. And insecurities, I do believe, this is another point, but I do believe, and I would like to see what you think also, that insecurities can possibly ruin relationships. Do you believe insecurities can play a part in breaking up a relationship?